Alright, no one was able to match with the sloth yesterday. However, we've got another opportunity to try this experiment again because I've just had another sloth.
What's up everyone, Sag here, and today I'm going to be looking for Grounded Sap and his sloth in my front yard. So the other day, probably about 4 days ago I think, maybe 5, Grounded Sap released a couple of sloths actually. 2 days in a row he released a 1 squad with just the sloth, nothing else, and then the day after he got another sloth and sent that out as well, but this time with a 3 squad. He came to the conclusion that it's very unlikely to match with another 1 squad, so he's doing these experiments right now to determine whether it's easier to find a 3 squad or a 1 squad, sort of just seeing how the matchmaking actually plays out. We sort of know from a few experiments, well, not really experiments, it was experiments until it was directly stated that your lives and trophies take a direct factor into matchmaking with people. So you need to have more lives or the same, and then you also need to have the same trophies on the same turn that you see it. So Grounded went up to around turn 7 or 8, I would say, and I thought this was a pretty good opportunity to actually try to match with him. So I did this for a few hours on and off on May 7th, 8th, and 9th, I believe. Maybe not the 9th. It might have just been the 7th and the 8th, whenever he released the video. And I was determined to try to get matched with him. Now, for about the first hour and a half or so, nothing. Literally nothing. I was just trying to... It was basically race to lose. So just losing as fast as possible with a 3 squad, and not a single time did I see him. Nor did I see anyone else for that matter, and I don't think I saw any 3 squads. I did, however, see a 1-2 squad. Just one. Out of that entire time. And then the videos that you're seeing now, or the run that you're seeing now, is much, much later, you know, and then I started doing this afterwards, where I was like, well, I don't want to just keep losing on turn 8, you know, every single game. So I thought it would be fun to try to get up to around 3 turns, between turns 3 and 5, and then choose a 3 squad that I get very, very early, and actually try to win with that. So you can see we're already up here to turn 7. We've already won round, so there's no way that we're going to run to Grounded unless, I don't know, something crazy happens. I don't think so. And then now we're skipping up here to turn 13. We didn't find anything. We actually were winning. We continued to win with this 3 squad. I didn't buy any other pets. I just kept buying food because Rabbit is one of the best pets early, actually, to be able to make it this far. And we tied here. I thought I had a real chance to actually win this. As you can see, I have 3 snails frozen in my shop waiting to get the level 3 snail, even though my Rabbit's already up to 50 health. At least we can get a little bit of attack, which is pretty desperately needed at this point, as we're running a 3 squad on turn 14. So I did this a few times. We're gonna go through a few runs here, and then at the very end I have a very special run. I haven't done a run like that in a while, where I just get Badger, Hedgehog, and see how far I can actually go in the game. So that one was a really cool. Stick around to the end to see what happens there. And as you can see with this 3 squad, we just cannot hold up to other people. We are losing back and forth. I had 3 lives, so I didn't have to buy all 3 snails that turn. We're just losing again and again. We've gotten to the point where we just simply cannot win. You know, having a 3 squad this late in the game is basically a loss. And I've had the 3 squad since like turn 5. So I would say if I had literally if I had a 4 squad from turn 5, this would be a different game. I probably would have been able to win, sell my 4th unit on turn 13, and then go from there. And we're on to the next game. As you can see, we lost that. We were fairly close, but we did lose. I tried this a lot, like a lot. Some teams, would make it to turn 16, 17 like that, and then some would not even get past turn 8 or 9. That's normally from losing every single round. Those were the most likely teams to actually find Grounded or anyone else trying to look for his team. And we just couldn't do it. Most of these games are actually going to involve Rabbit because Rabbit is one of the only tier 3s that can actually propel you into winning just by rolling and buying food. I actually think Rabbit might be one of the strongest tier 3s now, especially in terms of scaling for Pack 1. And then when the update drops, it really is because food was heavily nerfed. I think Rabbit is going to be incredibly powerful, especially if Seal stays the way that it does. They've reverted it back again to only giving attack. I think Rabbit Seal will actually be really strong. I may have underestimated Seal before. This is a very interesting team, so I was hoping that Hedgehog would make us tie. I even put a honey on it. I thought maybe, but putting the Hedgehog in the back was proving not as good as I wanted it to. And with Ox Hedgehog, there's actually a really cool interaction. So you can have the Hedgehog in front of the Ox, and it goes off. Ox actually doesn't take any damage. Its melon is removed, but then it is immediately put back. You'll see it in this round here. And I thought that was really cool. Honestly, I thought this 3 squad might be able to make it too, because having Ox and Hedgehog, plus the Rabbit, would mean that we are really strong. So again, we're going to get up here to turn 7. There's no way we're going to be able to find anyone else, or Grounded's team, rather. There's no way we're going to be able to find it here on turn 7. We already have 2 wins, 3 lives. But I thought it was another really good run to be able to make it. Look at that disgusting team. Turn 7, he's got 3 bison. That's just raunchy. So we skip forward a little bit. Turn 16. We're on 1 life. It's getting a little iffy. Buy selling cows doesn't do a whole lot for us anymore. A level 2 rabbit is all you really need. Anything past and you are just going to have way too much health. As you can see, we're already up to 50 health on all of them. The only thing we can really do now is buy food to buff attack. Not that it really matters. We would keep buying food anyways. This team looks like a good one to actually be able to beat, because we do have the Hedgehog. We're able to break a little bit of a melon there. Being able to have Mushroom on my hog is also really good. So we do actually beat a team there on turn 16 with this, which I found that quite surprising. But Hedgehog does do a number. And in the last game, you'll see how much the hog really is able to do. But unfortunately, here on turn 17, it's just not enough. With a double cat, monkey, swan, all meloned out, there was no chance. Not a singular chance of us winning that game. And then this third game that I got, those 2 were the best games that went, I would almost say, the distance. And then this third game that I got an early dog, and I was like, that's interesting. As you can see, I've already won a round here, so this game is basically over for trying to find Grounded. He didn't get any wins at all. But like I said, for the first hour and a half or so, all I did was lose until turn 8 and didn't find him at all. So I was getting really tired of that. That's why we sort of switched it up into doing something a bit more fun. I was really hoping that I could win with one of these teams. As you know, we're doing the 3 squad challenge right now. So a lot of 3 squads should be everywhere, not just in the weekly pack. I thought I might find a few in, standard pack here. But alas, no, I only saw that 1 2 squad, and it was like a level 3 back elephant with like a base stat rabbit. And I guess they were just trying to go for a huge elephant so they could swap. But this game here, we had double shrimp dog, and I thought this would be insane if this team won. I actually swapped to a 4 squad here for a moment, because I already know that I'm not going to get matched. I might as well keep the dog out, just to have one more pet to maybe win with this, because I felt a little confident. I was like, maybe if we win early enough, this could be possible. And on turn 6 with 3 wins, you know, that's pretty damn good. So we do go for the level up. I don't need the worm. Of course, we are just sticking with the double shrimp dog. And I will swap into something a little bit better later once I find it. My son is not what I'm swapping into. With that first game, I feel like if I didn't keep Snail, it could have been a different story. Um, but all the stats that we got from it were actually very, very much worth it. And then we got it to level 3 too, so that was cool. We do level up the shrimp here, and I decide our 3 squad is going to be shrimp, monkey, dog, which not the best as we have no in-battle abilities. We're just purely stat scalers, and not even like really that good. We are prioritizing health over basically everything. But we did it, you know, we got pretty far here. Turn 7, 3 wins. We were able to win again. And we're going to skip ahead to turn 12, where, as you can see, our power level is declining very quickly. The only way to really keep up is to constantly buy, sell any pet that is decent at all, because I get 3/3 until end of battle from dog. I get 2 health from shrimp. So I can't really afford to just keep buying food. Of course, unless the food is damn good. No melon. I have 2 steaks and a garlic. Turn 12 here. Again, a completely cracked team. Like a very solid team. There's not too much you can do about it. I mean, we can tie at the very least, but there's already been a lot of tying. Pizza, I think, is still easily worth it. Beaver, on the other hand, I don't know. I mean, we're already getting a lot of health from the shrimp, so I decide to miss out on that. And for some reason, I buy a salad there, which is not good at all. It's much better just to buy literally any pet and sell it. And, you know, not much you can do against these big food scaling teams. But on to this last game. This was my favorite run that I had. I did a few like it if I was able to get a couple of early hedgehogs or an early badger. And that's just see how long I can take this game. Of course, I was trying to stay on zero lives as long as possible. And once we got to a point where I was like, I think this is the longest game that I've had going without a win, I wanted to see how long it would go. So we're going to speed up the game a little bit here because it's a bit of a long one. And you can see I found the badger very early, and this is actually looking like a really good setup. We have double hog into badger into giraffe. The hogs and the badger should basically always kill giraffe, but I figured some amount of stats would be pretty good for us. We actually lose there, which is kind of upsetting, by 1 HP. And then I start to do this, get a level 2 hog. I thought maybe a level 2 hog might be a little bit better, bigger stats in 8-10. And getting garlic on my badger. I don't want my hog actually killing badger, because then I'm just going to lose way more. And again, we lose by 1 health, which is really unfortunate. We're able to get a level 2 giraffe and mommy's milk here, which is very, very nice. Now we can actually buff both hedgehog and badger. This was actually a very good run to attempt to find grounded. And again, nothing. Didn't see anything. So I think all in all together, I probably had around 2, maybe 2.5 hours worth of runs looking for grounded, just to never find him, nor anyone else running a 3 squad. That was really unfortunate. It felt like a big waste of time. But I said, I've got some pretty cool runs here to show off, and I thought I could at least show you that. We're on turn 9. 0 wins, 2 life. We're finally able to tie. This is what I've been waiting for. At this point, I could probably add another thing in, because grounded didn't get up to turn 10. And in this run, it was really sad, because I actually win. So I was like, man. So we're going to skip ahead here. I started, I basically tied every other round up until then, just with very normal teams. But I accidentally won that one. If I didn't win that one, we would be on turn 17 with 0 wins, which would be absolutely insane. So turn 17, we're starting to face a lot of really weird teams because of the requirement of being at 1 trophy, 1 life, and at turn 18. very close to actually finding ghost teams, which is another thing that that can happen if there's literally no one else in the pool. And it's very hard to get to this combination of everything without that happening, or you just run into a bunch of hedgehog blowfish teams, which is what we're basically doing now, or hedgehog badger teams. We get very close to losing there, but thankfully my badger, 42 damage, 150%, that's gonna kill basically everything. Turn 19, I'm using a parrot here, which is a little weird because you can't actually mushroom a parrot. So I freeze another hog, thinking maybe I can get rid of parrot and throw the other hog in so I can get more mushrooms. And we actually go against our first ghost team here, which is really unfortunate because I win. I actually win. And now we're going to start winning because ghost teams are too weak to be able to do anything. They don't have any equipment, nothing. They're in random order. I guess you could potentially go up against like a couple level 3 leopards with like a tiger. That might do you in. But, I mean, we're still fairly strong here. And look at this disgusting team. That was actually pretty crazy. If the tiger would have been behind the snake, that could have been a different story. That could have been really scary. Turn 21 here, and I make a horrible mistake. I sell my parrot for this hedgehog, and you'll see why that was such a mistake. But this is basically going to be the end of the run. We face a real team here, and if I would have had that parrot, then I would have done 2 extra damage to that leopard, and I would have tied again. Unfortunate stuff. But I had a blast looking for Grounded and his sloth. Just couldn't do it today, but I will try next time when he releases another one. So, thank you so much for watching. Politely smack that like button's ass on your way out. And you know what? Have a wonderful day.